Hello and welcome to some more Star Citizen. I had lots of requests to actually see some proper Salvage gameplay, and Wave 1 PTU, it is a harsh mistress at the moment, but I've been able to actually get into the verse and find a Salvage site. So you can find these Salvage sites at basically Lagrange points, so the asteroid areas around space stations and places like Yella and that sort of stuff. And if you just do a bit of a scan, beep, ping with tab, and when you're around these areas, you'll find these little zones which you can travel to, which will have like minables, potentially enemies, or salvage sites in them. It's effectively what's going on. And you can see this little symbol means salvage. So I found a salvage site, and then if I press M, I go into the mining mode. Say mining mode, the salvage mode. It's pretty much mining though. And then I can left click. I'm going to start extracting materials, and I can press G and actually move the gimbals around. And it is absolutely super chill as a mechanic. Like you can see here, I'm just stripping the hull. Just stripping the hull. And with my little mining beams. And that basically becomes little 1 SCU cargo containers in my cargo bay, which I meant to dispense. The PTU is a bit buggy at the moment, so bear that in mind. I can also go to the little salvage console in my ship, and I can dispense the IMC cartridges for a multi-tool, so that I can use that to then repair ships, which I just think it's really cool. So this is probably one of the most chill mechanics that they've done in-game ever. It's just hit me here, slowly removing all the little bits of hull. And yeah, this is hull stripping. This is the basics of the first type of salvage. There's going to be loads of other salvage as well. There's going to be munching salvage. So literally taking these big chunks of metal that you can see in front of me and grinding them up. So the Vulture will be able to do that to a smaller degree, and the Reclaimer to a much larger degree. But yeah, it's quite a cool little mechanic. It's pretty basic and pretty simple. The Wave 1 PTU servers at the moment are super erratic. So actually being able to get getting on's fine now, even though it's just US servers, but the lag and the latency and a bit of desync is not great at the moment. So sort of bear that in mind. And if anyone's wondering what I'm sort of doing with the salvaging, there's no massive rhyme or reason to exactly my methodology here. I'm just sort of showing you as it sort of happens. But yeah, it's pretty cool. I think the Vulture is significantly better than the Reclaimer at the moment, just because you can do your salvage sort of solo, and it's running the Reclaimer requires you to actually have, you know, multiple people, and you might as well just run multiple Vultures, and obviously that's going to change once we have more types of salvage and that sort of jazz, for sure. But yeah, the current 3.18 Wave 1 PTU servers, they are erratic, and like landing zones, they can hate you by like not having the trains or trams allow you to move around, elevators being delayed. Still a huge amount better than they were in the first couple of days. Cloud Imperium still planning to get 3.18 out to the wider PTU later this week, and open PTU for all. So even that's a bit of a stretch at the moment, just with how erratic stuff is. Like, I played earlier and it was absolutely fine, then I played again later. I say absolutely fine, it wasn't absolutely fine, but I was able to sort of play around and mess around. But then I logged back in on Horizon, and the shuttles weren't running, the lifts weren't working. So, assumedly, that's just because the servers are hugely overburdened, because they're just running a small amount of servers, and it's US region only at the moment. And there's a lot of people that are trying to play and log in. Now, Cloud Imperium is saying that's because they want test data, and because they want to stress test the servers in a particular way and before rolling out to more regions and even more players. So let's hope that is accurate and that the testing goes well and the rest of this sort of PTU cycle goes very well and the open PTU is going to be a good laugh. But yeah, so let me actually jump out of the chair here and go into the sort of rear of my ship. Oh no. That's not what I want to do at all. No. No. Well. Thanks, game. Thanks. I'm dead. I'm just GG dead. I hate you, Star Citizen. I hate you so much. So, the filters and sort of updates to the inventory are really, really useful. So I can just sort of filter the items that I want much more easily now, which is, yeah, just absolutely fantastic. It means I can live my dream of being the star kitten I've always wanted to be. That said, servers, very laggy at the moment for me moving stuff around and actually dressing up as I want, so sort of bear that in mind. Wave 1 PTU, a little erratic, unfortunately. But, who's a beautiful boy? Me. I'm a beautiful boy. Actually, let me put my Pyro multi-tool on. I need to go and grab a... I do want a tractor beam module with me. I do want a med gun with me. And I do want some form of weapon with me as well. Let's go ammo. Bam. Nice. Look, this is what I mean with the train. You go, oh, there's doesn't seem to be problems with the train. You just wait, my son. You just wait, my son. Look. Oh, a little bit janky there. A little bit weird, eh? It's like, oh no, it'll be fine. Like, what's your problem? It's just gonna come nicely, gently. I mean, it actually was working pretty well there. Oh yeah, there you go. Oh, what do you think about that? Do you like the fact it's drifted off into infinity through the floor? And then sliding? Yeah? Yeah. Thought you might like that. Didn't believe me. So the doors have opened. Do you trust them, is the other thing. Do you trust these doors? I currently don't. I'm going to wait. Oh. It let me leave even though there's multiple trams there. So that is some of the perils of the current Wave 1 PTU. Everything's a bit jank and delayed and overburdened. So when we don't walk out the side of our ship like an idiot, I didn't realise that that was just an automatic function of holding Y and getting out of the chair that would sometimes dispense me out of the ship on that side. And I didn't have a sort of ego suit, so obviously I couldn't get back to the door. I just was ejected and then in a sort of gown from the hospital. So yes, that was not ideal. But yeah, if we go to the back rear of the ship where the dispensary is, we can dispense the sort of cartridges for the multi-tool, so we can put that in for the multi-tool attachment so that we can then repair holes in ships, although we can just sort of scrape hulls to then get the repair material. But also every time one SCU of cargo is produced from the sort of stripping beams, it will dispense a crate, and then we'll need to use a multi-tool tractor beam to move the crate out of the way so another one can be dispensed. So it is a little fiddly for one person when doing the salvage mechanics in the Vulture, so that's something that the Reclaimer, yeah, you need multiple people in the Reclaimer anyway, but Vulture is supposed to be a solo ship, there is some interesting stuff there. So with those crates auto-dispensing, you will need to move them every so often using a tractor beam so that they don't block the actual ability for more crates to effectively spawn. So bear that in mind, and then you can just go off and sell that at stations or landing zones. The multi-tool attachment for Salvage is a little bit weird because they don't sell it at some of the shops that you think they'd sell it at, and I think that's just an oversight in the PTU at the moment. So like at Microtech at Shubin, they don't sell it, and they probably should. That all said, when I've tried to sell it in the current PTU, the sort of boxes aren't detectable and don't seem to want to be able to be sold, so I haven't actually been able to discern exactly how much Salvage is worth. So, yeah, some big issues at the moment with these sort of gameplay mechanics and bugs for them. Cloud Imperium should be able to solve them relatively quickly, though, because they appeared that they are just bugs, and they were working in the sort of dev build before they pushed it out. People have been saying that you can sell the scrap successfully, or I say scrap, the salvage at scrapyards, at TTDs, at landing zones. For the amount of effort that it is to salvage on the Vulture, and then actually move a container, a crate, out as it comes out of the dispensary into the cargo grid of the ship, salvage is not going to be worth enough. I have some concerns currently, is what I'm saying. Players have been saying as well that they've been able to get 120 to 180 thousand Alpha UEC an hour-ish from salvaging currently. I just want to see a big old sort of rework of the economy. I want actually prices to come down and rewards to come down so that stuff can be a bit more tactically priced, and the value of sort of Alpha UEC, I feel, is gone some sort of through a terrible inflationary period where UEC is just worth a lot less than it actually should be, and it's a bit of a weird one. But anyway, I'm interested to know what you think. Are you enjoying Salvage? Are you enjoying 3.18? Have you been able to get on? Has it been hellish for you? Are you hoping that there's going to be a more stable build in the next couple of days and we get an open PTU, and the open PTU isn't sort of a buggy mess? And will Cloud Imperium be able to come back early January and get a great 3.18 live build out? We'll be getting loads of other gameplay out in the not too distant future on 3.18. We are just waiting for a bit of a more stable build and less desync and lag, Zin and I. So please tell us what sort of gameplay footage and features you want us to focus on and talk about, and we will do that. But whatever your thoughts, I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. Do you have eyes? I know I do. Do you want precise eye and head tracking that's natively supported in Star Citizen for that deep immersion? And it just so happens that Tobii Eye Tracker 5 has a 20% off sale until the 2nd of January 2023. So go to tobii.gg/BoredGamer or follow the links down below to get your discount.
Ho ho ho! Merry Nordmas!
It's Santa!
No, Timmy, it's Father Nordmas. I'm legally distinct and spread NordVPN cheer. Here you go, little Tim. Have some discount on your next NordVPN purchase. Just what you wanted. Go to nordvpn.com/BoredGamer.
But Santa, we don't want a VPN.
I told you, Tim, it's Father Nordmas.
Every month we have a ship giveaway. For December, we are giving away the mighty Drake Corsair Explorer with a Star Citizen game package and lifetime insurance. This no-nonsense Explorer can take you and 3 friends to the limits of adventure around the verse, and although more focused on exploration and expedition, it is a great multi-role mission runner too. Comment on any of my videos during December to be in for a chance of winning that. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. Please don't forget to like and especially subscribe to the videos, leave comments, and if you feel so inclined, use the join button under my videos and give a little bit each month to help the channel. It really, really does help. Or you can even become a Patreon or donate. Check out all the links below. Thanks very much for watching. Have a great time in the verse.